Thank you so much for joining me today for this lovely chair yoga practice. My name is Christine, and I am working with integrated yoga therapy. So, if you are interested in a one-on-one yoga therapy session with me, please contact me in the description below. You'll find that information. I do offer a 1 hour free consultation if you are interested in talking about anything that pertains to you. If you've been in a yoga class before and thought, boy, I would love to have a little bit more information about this, or if you have any issues with mobility or even mental health, yoga can be very helpful for that. So please reach out. So we're going to start in a seat today. Have your feet on the ground, barefoot if possible, socks are cool, shoes if necessary. And just make sure you can feel both feet though on the ground. All 10 toes, both heels fully supported. And go ahead and we're going to shake off the day. So whatever you have brought with you today, we're just going to shake it off like everybody else who lives on this planet, all the other animals here. We release our stress, and usually humans kind of suck it up and suck it in when they get stressed out, and we don't release the stress and it gets trapped in the tissues of our body. So you can shake it out right from your chair, or you can take this opportunity to inhale and press into your feet and just take a nice big full body stretch. Maybe reach up with one hand and then the other, and you might lean into your hips a little bit and open up your ribs. And then, to the best of your ability, your range of motion, just begin to shake it off. Lift up your feet, shake out your legs, shake out your arms, shake out your hips, shake out your head, let your lips go. Just shake it all off. That's how we discharge sympathetic response energy that gets built up in our tissues. So just take another 15 seconds here. Not a lot of time. We really want to let it go. I mean, how long have you been holding it in, for crying out loud? Just let it out. Ooh, and then just shake it off. Couple strong shakes of the arms, just like, I am done with that. I am done with that. Let it go. And then just take a moment, standing or sitting here, to just notice how your body responded to that shakeout. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more energized. Maybe you're noticing some tingling or buzzing or warm sensations. Maybe you are fully in your body for the first time today. Notice your palms of your hands, any sense of aliveness, of having woken up there. And then from standing or sitting, with your next inhale, reach your arms out and up. Bring your fingers together to clasp and bring them right behind your head, like you're leaning back in a lounge chair, enjoying this beautiful weather we're having. Let your thumbs travel down the sides of your neck and just move to the best of your ability here. If one or the other arm isn't feeling up for this today, feel free to just do whatever side feels best. We're just going to inhale and open up the elbows, open up the heart. And exhale, draw the elbows inward, open up the shoulder blades. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. And exhale to draw them apart. And you can continue right here, just moving nice and gentle in the upper body. Or you might begin to bring in a little of that cat and cow movement of the spine, rounding the body, drawing the belly button back as you draw the elbows towards one another, and lifting the heart and the gaze up to the sky as you draw them away. Let's just do that a couple more times here. And then inhale back to a nice tall spine. As you exhale, tilt to your right any amount. Open up the left side of your rib cage. And as you breathe here, really focus on the breath in the left lung, in the left side of the body, expanding and softening the rib cage. And if you like here, you might release your right hand and bring it over to your ribs and gently bring a little bit of touch here. It's a little awkward, but perhaps you can feel in between the ribs into those intercostal muscles. Just gently bringing some massage and movement to this area that doesn't get a lot of that. And you may hold yourself here and maybe tilt down towards the ground. And then lift up towards the sky. So just a little gentle kind of twisting motion here. It doesn't have to be a big movement. We're just noticing what happens under your fingers as you move this side of your body. Just another breath here. And then we'll inhale back to that tall spine and release both hands down. And just take a moment right here to notice what you notice, the response of your body to that movement, maybe a sense of imbalance from side to side. And then again, we'll inhale and reach up, interlace your fingers, but this time we're going to bring the non-dominant thumb on top. And then bring those hands back behind the head again, thumbs to support your neck. And again, you can open up the heart and draw the belly button back, moving with your breath. When we switch up the clasp of our hands, we are telling our nervous system that it is safe to do things in different ways. The next time you inhale, come back to a tall spine, and as you exhale, tilt the left elbow down towards the ground. And just notice what you feel here. Breathe into the right side of the body. Feel that expansion in the ribs. And then if you like, you might release the left hand, bring it over to the right ribs, and just explore what you feel over here. Getting to know the anatomy of your own body. And then maybe holding yourself here and taking that gentle rotation, looking down towards the ground and up towards the sky. Just noticing how that feels in the body. And then use your next inhale to come back up to a tall spine, and then exhale to release your hands once again. And take a moment to just notice what's happening, notice the response of your body. Yoga's power is in the ability for us to take radical responsibility for ourselves, how we respond to everything around us. And so noticing our own body's responses helps us to really dial into what that is and how we can learn to change how we respond when it benefits us. So let's go ahead and take a seat here. Of course, if it is in your practice and you'd rather continue to stand, you surely can. We're going to get a little bit of movement here in the neck. So let's just take our gaze from side to side, looking out over the shoulders. And you might link your movement with your breath in a way that feels intuitive and supportive to you. So you might inhale to one side and exhale to the opposite direction. You get to choose. Once more to each side. And then let's inhale right here at the center again. Exhale to bring your chin down towards your heart. Continue to breathe right here with a nice tall spine. And we're just gonna rock the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then back down to the chest. And left ear towards left shoulder. And back down chin to chest. And again, just side to side. And you might link the movement with your breath. Maybe inhaling the ears up and exhaling the chin down. You might stay here, just rocking side to side, or you might begin to make some circles, opening up the sides and the front of the neck. And you can keep your circles very subtle, or you can make them super big, whatever feels right in your body. If you're making the circles, the next time you bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, reverse your circles. And just notice what the response of your body is here. Notice all the subtle sensations along the way. Notice any sounds you might hear. And the next time your chin comes down towards your heart, that's the last time. Let's inhale to bring the head right back up to the top of the spine. And just notice what you notice. Lovely. Let's get a little bit of an opening here for the lower body. So let's pick up that right knee. Maybe interlace your fingers around the front of your shin or around the back of your thigh. And we'll just point and flex the right foot a few times. Make sure you've got a nice tall spine here to support you. And then we'll make some circles in the ankle in one direction and then the other. Doesn't matter how many, just try to keep it even, 3, 4, 5, whatever works for you. And then we'll spread the toes out wide, give them a nice little wiggle. And then let's go ahead and bring that right ankle up to the top of the left thigh. If that doesn't work for you, you can cross your right knee over or bring the right ankle in front. So still get an opening there in the outer right hip. And you can flex this right heel here to keep the knee safe. That'll engage all the supporting tendons and ligaments here around the knee. Find that nice tall spine here with your flexed foot. And you might take a moment here as you breathe to bring some gentle massage. Now, if you have any swelling in the lower legs, any lymphedema, or just general soreness from being on your feet all day, you might massage your feet or your shin or your calf or around your knee. Yoga is self-care. Massage is self-care. We're taking care of not just of the muscles, but of the lymphatic system, the skin, the tissues, the joints, the ligaments, the tendons. Everything gets some attention, some loving, kind, compassionate attention. And then you might want to stay right there with some self-massage or maybe deepen the stretch. Find a little inhale here, or actually a nice generous inhale here as you find your tall spine. And then exhale to hinge forward at your hips. And just notice that first place of sensation, probably in the low back or maybe in the hip. And we just want to stay here and breathe. And as you have your belly kind of constricted here against the thighs, you might really be able to feel the breath in the low back and in the hips. So this time we're massaging from the inside out using our breath. And if you find after a few breaths that you might have a little bit more space and want to come a little closer to your bent leg, You can definitely do that here. Just a couple more breaths wherever you are. And then we'll inhale right back up to that tall spine. Exhale to release your right foot to the ground. Bring it right back under your right knee. And then pause here. Yoga helps us to get used to the pause. Bringing in an intentional pause on or off our mat can be very powerful. Where can a pause be powerful in your life? And then when you're ready, we'll do the same thing with the left side. Again, you can interlace your hands around the front of the shin or the back of the thigh. And again, let's switch up the cross. So I'm a right-handed person, so usually my right thumb is on top. So now my left thumb is on top. It feels a little awkward. But again, we can let our bodies and our minds know we can be okay with awkward things. And then we'll point and flex the feet here. And of course, if you want to work on strength, you don't have to use your hands here at all. You can just lift that knee. And then we'll circle a few times in each direction. And then a nice wiggle of all those toes, give them a little air. And then bring that ankle to the front of or the top of the thigh or around the front of the right ankle or across the knee. Find your tall spine, relax your shoulders, release your jaw. And then maybe take a moment to just notice what's happening in this left leg. And notice if there's a spot that maybe wants a little bit of touch. So right here along the shin can be kind of a tricky place to stretch. So mine is calling out for a little gentle touch, but maybe your feet are, your toes, your heels, your calf. Places on my body that benefit and want massage are going to be different than the places on your body that do. So honor yourself. Support and celebrate your authenticity. And you can stick right there with the gentle massage, or maybe find that tall spine again with an inhale. And as you exhale, hinge forward at those hips. Find your breath. See if you can really perceive it out in the hips and the low back, that gentle inward massaging of the tissues. We also have our kidneys back there, so we're helping to bring some fresh oxygen and some movement to those tissues, and the adrenal glands are right there on top of the kidneys. So just bringing some attention there to that area of the body. And we can be our own healer. And yoga enlivens and awakens our own inner healer, where we can take back our power and not leave it out in the hands of all these external places, but we can find our own support and refuge within ourselves. So let's inhale back up to that tall spine, and then release the left leg down, and we'll just windshield wiper those knees gently from side to side, and take a moment to pause. Befriend the pause. We get very reactive in our day-to-day lives. But instead of being reactive, we be responsive. All right, let's continue to move on here. We've moved our spine forward and back and opened up the side body. So let's get a little twisting motion in here. So go ahead and bring your hands right here at your heart. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, release your jaw. Find strength and stability while also finding a little bit of at ease. and lightness and space. Let's inhale right here and exhale as you twist any amount to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale to twist any amount to the left. We'll just continue this pattern here. And again, we're gonna make it our own. So this might be where you wanna stay here. Or you might like to press into your feet and come to stand. Inhaling at center and exhaling to each side. You might like to open up the arms a little bit. So maybe the next time you twist right, you open up your arms and then bring your palms back to your heart at center, twist left and open up. And you can do that whether you're seated or standing. Now you can continue with this nice slow movement, being very mindful and intentional about how you move your body. Or if you're standing, you might like to get a little loosey-goosey and have a little more fun with it. So one more time to the right, and then take your feet out a little bit wider, release your hands, and let's just kind of swing the arms from side to side. Get a little bend in your knee. Just a little sway, and you might pat yourself on the back or tap yourself or give yourself a little smack on the butt. Cute butt. Give yourself a little encouragement, a little pat on the shoulder. You can pick up your feet, really get down into it, maybe bend the knees, or you can keep it very subtle and free. We're springtime here in Oregon right now, so imagine yourself standing out in the sun, or maybe you're practicing in the sun, smelling the flowers. And then begin to slow down, whether you're seated or standing. Come back to center, bring your feet back under your knees, and just notice the effect of that movement. Notice how your body responds. And then again, from seated or standing, we're going to bring the hands to the hips. If you're standing, take your feet out wide, or even if you're sitting, you might take your feet out wide. I like to call this superhero posture. So roll the shoulders down and back, lift your heart, feel your feet on the ground, all 10 toes and both heels. You might notice that you're kind of out more weight in the outer feet or in the inner feet. See if you can kind of balance that out. And feel yourself in this powerful posture. Feel yourself leading with your heart. Maybe even bring a smile to your mind's eye or to your physical face and notice how that changes your energy. Feel the power here. And then from seated or standing, let's go ahead and sit down into a squat. So again, you might be right here if you're working on strengthening today, or you might come to sit on your chair. Either way, we're gonna bring our hands on the tops of our knees. Inhale right here at center, and as you exhale, we're gonna take the right shoulder towards the left knee. Inhale back to center and exhale to bring that left shoulder towards the right knee. And you know the deal. Move at your own pace. Move with the pace of your breath. See if you can keep the muscles of your face relaxed. And see if you can maintain connection with your body. So if you notice your mind start to wander, bring your awareness to where your feet are touching the ground, to where your sit bones are resting on your chair if you're sitting, to where your palms are on your knees. One more time to each side. And then let's inhale right back up to that tall spine. Bring your hands back to your hips. Find that superhero posture. And then we'll heel toe the feet right back under the knees. Release your hands. Notice the pause. Notice the sensation. And then we'll just get one more little opening for the front of the body. So we sit much of our day. So you could do this from seated or from standing. So I'll show both. My chair is a little curved, so it's not nice and flat for me. So I'm going to turn to the left side so that I can bring my right knee down to the ground and just open up the front of my right hip here. Now you might be able to do that from your chair facing forward, just dropping your right knee down towards the ground, or you might prefer to do that from standing, just bringing the top of your right foot to the ground. Or maybe picking up that right ankle and taking a more intentional quad stretch. Or maybe even just the pant leg might be helpful. Wherever you are, whether you're sitting or standing, you can keep your left hand on the chair, or you can reach it up to the sky and maybe look up towards the sky. So lots of different options there. Everybody's situation is different as far as seated or standing, energy level, range of motion, not better or worse, just different. Just like all the trees are different. None of them are better or worse, unless they're invasive, I guess, but all the trees are wonderful and they all look so different. They all function differently, and so do people. One more full breath wherever you are. And then we'll gently release and switch sides. So again, we're gonna open up that left hip now. So you might drop the left knee down towards the ground or come to stand and bring the top of the left foot to the ground, or pick up that left ankle, pant leg, toe, whatever you can reach. And then standing here, you might bring your hand to your chair or from your seat. Keep your right hand here for balance. Or inhale and reach that right arm up to the sky. Maybe take a little gentle back bend here as you look upward. Find your breath. If you're standing, really press into that standing foot. Feel all the supporting muscles getting stronger, supporting your balance. One more full breath wherever you are. And then let's release and come back to a seat. Feet under your knees, knees in front of your hips, heart over your hips, head over your heart. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your palms wherever they're resting. Feel your sit bones on the chair. And if you feel comfortable to close your eyes, close your eyes. We're going to do a variation of Sitali breath, which is a cooling breath as we're heading into the summer here. Before we can even think about it, it's going to be here. So Sitali breath, you inhale through your mouth and you exhale through the nose. Now, ideally, if you can curl your tongue or make that taco shape with the tongue, you want to inhale through that kind of straw of the tongue. If you are unable to do that, anatomically speaking, as am I, just poke the tip of your tongue towards the opening of your mouth. So it looks like this. You're kind of sipping the breath in over your tongue. And this is a great breath to do if you're eating hot and spicy food to kind of cool the mouth off, but it also cools the sinuses and the body. So let's inhale together. Close the lips. Exhale out the nose. Inhale over the tongue through the pursed lips. Close the mouth, relax the shoulders, exhale completely out the nose. And just come back to a couple regular breaths here for a moment. Notice the response of your body. And then this time we're going to do the same breath. Continue doing it without any visualization if you like, but if you would like to, you could imagine that as you're inhaling, your head is a balloon and you're inflating your head. And then imagine as you exhale that the air is releasing out the top of your head. So for fuller cooling, our bodies, our minds are so powerful. So let's inhale over the tongue through the pursed lips. Imagine you're inflating your head like a big balloon. And as you exhale, imagine the breath leaving the top of the head. Let's do that for 3 rounds and then come back to our regular breath. And just notice what you notice when you come back to your regular breath. Notice any opportunity for spaciousness in the mind, any opportunity for calm or peace or clarity. Let's do that breath 3 more times, but this time imagine the balloon is the low belly. So inhale over the tongue through pursed lips, fill up the belly, and imagine the breath leaving the top of the head. Do that twice more in your own timing and come back to your regular breath. And once you come back to your regular breath, check in with yourself once again. We have made changes in the body, physiological changes. So you might notice places in your body that are feeling good or neutral. Maybe places in the body that are feeling tense or pain. Just let all of those places be in your awareness. And with your next inhale, reach your arms out and up towards the sky as much as feels good to you, and gather all of those places together and bring them to your heart. All the places of yourself where you're tense or in pain, all the places that feel good or neutral, they all belong to you. And you might tilt your chin towards your heart in honor of all those places and in honor of your sacred self that brought you to this practice today. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here today. Again, if you're a video editor, please feel free to